Hi, my name is Noor Brainy, and I'm in a group with Olivia Allen and Kaylee Dow, and this is our physics project. Our goal for the project is to create a prototype and idea worthy of selling on the market. To do this, our group had to research, interview, analyze our interviews, and much more. Not only has the project allowed us to have the opportunity to do such a thing, but it also lets us understand what it's like to be in a competitive market.
The My Blood Type is Coffee is a person who drinks multiple cups of coffee throughout the day. They normally have a favorite type of coffee, but don't mind drinking other kinds as well. Some might refer to them as coffee addicts. The coffee addict values how they feel throughout the day and the cleanliness of the process. They tend to be making coffee multiple times a day and need to be able to take it on the go to be efficient. They also need an easy way to clean up. When asked about her coffee, Miss Cooper said that she makes a cup of coffee when she first wakes up in the morning and then drinks another cup when putting on her makeup, which is at least 2 cups before she leaves her house in the morning. When we asked Mary about when she drinks coffee, she responded that she likes to drink a cup of coffee before she goes to work, and then she has multiple cups throughout the day at work. She makes coffee pots for other people in the office. Miss Cooper mentions that even though she has a favorite coffee, dark chocolate raspberry, she will drink other types of coffee as well. It just needs to be coffee. The coffee addict needs coffee readily available during the day. They need a quick and efficient way to create their coffee. They also need a clean way of creating and cleaning up after themselves, so they don't take too much time out of their day.
Is caramel. I like that one. I also like breakfast blend. I also really like pumpkin spice Keurig coffee since it's fall. So, but my favorite is chocolate. Is raspberry chocolate.
And what's one thing that you would change about the Keurig if you could?
That it would clean itself.
The broke college student is a person who never has enough money to provide decent coffee for themselves. They always go for the cheap coffee and wish it tastes good, but they will go with whatever is in their budget. The broke college student values their money and efficiency. They value cleanliness and their time. They also value how wisely they spend their money, so they tend to think of themselves when they buy their coffee and not about the others living with them. When we asked the broke college student about her preference of her coffee flavors, Kelsey mentions that she buys whatever is on sale to spend the least amount of money or to get a great value on their coffee. They need a quick and efficient way to create their coffee. They also need a clean way of creating and cleaning up after themselves so they do not disturb who they live with. When we interviewed the broke college student, we asked her who she bought coffee for and how much she needed. She responded that she has to buy coffee only for herself and that she does not think about her roommates when she buys the coffee due to insufficient funds.
So, when you buy your groceries and your coffee, do you think about the others that you live with, or do you just buy what you want?
I get what I want.
The resourceful coffee intellectual enjoys making coffee in the morning for themselves and drinking at their own pace. She values her process of making sure everything is just right so that she can sit down and have some time to herself in order to take on the busy day ahead of her. However, not only do they know the ins and outs of what coffee is the best, they also use what they have, such as a Keurig, to its full advantage. She's particular about taste as well as quantity. This is a ritualistic person who values the process as well as taste. She's very specific about what coffee she drinks, so it is very important that this person makes their own coffee rather than buying it from somewhere like Starbucks. She's not too rushed for time and cares more about the experience and value of her coffee. She's prideful about her coffee ritual in the morning as well as the fact that she's knowledgeable about what is the best way to prepare the coffee. She also values convenience and how useful a product is. She has a ritual and knows how to use it in different ways. She likes that it makes several different things.
I only have one here. You know why? Because I got this coffee maker at home that makes coffee and it makes hot water separately. It has two. And I mostly don't drink coffee at home unless I have people over. So I'll make a pot or a half a pot. But I wait until I get to school to drink my coffee. A, because I'm not a morning person and I'm kind of in a rush because it's where the Keurig is.
Although the resourceful coffee intellectual loves their process, they do not like cleaning up. Therefore, they need an easy and efficient way to clean up once the coffee is made. They need low mess and do not want to worry about having a meticulous process for cleaning. The resourceful coffee intellectual knows her problem and knows how to fix it, but is too lazy to do it.
Now that's a problem with my Keurig, I'll tell you. Probably what's happening is I need to clean it with vinegar, to get any buildup out. But it should be more volume. So when it starts giving you a weird volume that you need to clean it, but I'm too lazy. I'll just push the button twice.
Our group created 6 problem statements after we looked at our interviews and research. These 6 problem statements are 1. Consumers not having enough coffee/caffeine to get through the day. 2. Cleaning the Keurig efficiently and diligently without it being a hassle and cumbersome to do. 3. A cup moving around in a cup holder and spilling because it doesn't fit properly, therefore developing a way for it to fit properly. 4. Transportation of a coffee cup that size doesn't fit the cup holder. 5. Coffee getting cold during long drinking period, so develop an idea that will keep it warm. 6. People who get coffee on the go but have to carry a lot or are holding everything, so they need something easy to carry and throw away.
Tell, and she would be like, I can tell this coffee's been sitting on the thing for an hour, and you can tell. You know if it's not fresh. So that's the other thing about the Keurig. If you're doing one cup at a time, you don't waste a lot of coffee, and it's always super fresh. So
you like your coffee?
I want it super fresh, and I want it. I want the brand I want. And so the adapter. So I paid. I don't know. My mom bought this for me for my birthday, so it's probably $100 ish, maybe 75. But the little adapter thing, that's another 15. And you can see my problem. I got 2 adapters, so I can have 2 cups before I have to go clean it. So you have to, when it's full, and it's pretty hot right now, but when it's full, I have to come, dump out the coffee grounds, rinse it out, and clean it.
First thing you do when you want coffee, do you crave it or is it just you automatically want it?
I think I'll die without it. So when I get out of bed, that's the first thing I do is I open the Keurig.
So why do you think you use coffee? Do you use it because you like the taste of it?
Taste and for the caffeine.
Why do you say the caffeine?
Because I'm tired without it.
We created a pain versus frequency graph on our concept ball section in order to create our problem statements, ideas, and then rule out the problems and ideas that are not worth developing further. After re-watching our interviews and looking at each persona's values and needs, we created the 6 problem statements which were mentioned earlier. For clarification, the problems we came up with were 1. Consumers not having enough coffee and caffeine to get through the day. 2. Cleaning the Keurig efficiently and diligently without it being a hassle and cumbersome to do. 3. A cup moving around in a cup holder and spilling because it doesn't fit properly. 4. Transportation of a coffee cup that size does not fit the cup holder. 5. Coffee getting cold during long drinking period. And 6. People who get coffee on the go but have too much to carry or hold everything, who also need something easy to carry and throw away. For the Keurig cleaning problem, we thought of having a K-cup with cleaning powder with which the user would place on the designated K-cup spot of the Keurig. Another idea we had was to mix a powder with water in the water reservoir of the Keurig and run this through the Keurig to clean it. Our third idea was to pour a liquid instead of a powder with water into the water reservoir feature of the Keurig and run this through the Keurig instead. For the transportation of coffee problem, we thought to create a dual-purpose sleeve that fits around the coffee cup. This sleeve acts as a sleeve for a cup of hot coffee and has collapsible wings attached on two sides that will prevent a small coffee cup from moving around in a larger cup holder. Our other idea was to have a substance that is placed in the cup holder of a car in order to keep the coffee cup that is too small from moving around. For the too much to carry problem, we created a styrofoam cup with a reusable handle with which you can attach to other cups as well. Or another idea is a styrofoam cup with a built-in handle as a part of the design. This decision matrix allowed us to put numbers on how feasible each idea we created was. However, after analyzing again each of the ideas we created and researching about whether or not they had already been made, we decided to go down a different path with regards to our problem and idea. Although neither of the three people we first interviewed ever mentioned having a hard time carrying a lot of things in their hand as well as their coffee, our group talked amongst ourselves of how that is actually a problem that is fairly common to people, including our group as well as some students at TVS. Therefore, the idea we went forward with was not originally what we had set out to create, but after careful thinking and research, we decided to choose a different path. The idea we decided on was creating a styrofoam cup with a built-in handle as a part of the design. We agreed on going forward with this, particularly because it would be easier for people to carry multiple things in their hands with this kind of coffee cup because they will have a firmer grip on the cup. Furthermore, this kind of styrofoam mug would allow those that prefer mugs over cups to have the satisfaction of carrying a styrofoam cup without having to carry on a glass mug wherever you go. With this, users can easily dispose of them as well. Our group wanted to move forward with the idea of having a K-cup with cleaning powder with which you put in the designated K-cup area to clean the Keurig. However, we researched online just to make sure that this was not already made, and we found out that it had been already made, so we had to make some changes. Since this K-cup with cleaning powder had already been made for the Keurig, we researched more about Keurig problems, and it was evident that most of the problems with Keurigs had been fixed. So, we agreed on moving on to a new problem area, which we chose as the transportation of coffee. We then decided on attempting to make a cup sleeve with a built-in handle on it. However, we discovered that this too was already invented. Overall, we had to completely change our problems and ideas, but the process that led to this new idea is just as important as the invention itself.
Something. This is nice because when I walk around with my styrofoam cup and I'm holding it with 20 other things, my fingers start burning. And I realize if I could do that, I could probably carry more, which is my goal, to carry more in life. So both of these are great inventions.
I have another question. What if it was like a reusable handle that you could use when you
Which would be good because that's almost wasteful to do that, and a reusable handle would be amazing.
that way you could still
Is there a way? How about this?
like a handle
Yeah,
like
a
that?
handle for that. That could be amazing right there because that's no handle. And again, unless I stick it down in my lunch bag, that's harder to carry. Yes.
Okay.
I love that. Great inventions. You outdid yourself for sure. I love it. Good job.
Through thorough research, asking thoughtful questions during interviews, and asking about interviews, our group has learned to think outside the box and never rely on just one idea. Our next step for this prototype will be whether or not it is better to have a reusable handle versus a styrofoam cup with a built-in handle.